folks, hearty welcome to everyone. And today is a very, very special day for the TGV team because we are celebrating our 250th milestone episode. Yes, you heard it right. We are celebrating our 250th milestone episode, that too within 27 months of launching The Guiding Voice way back on May 17th, 2020. And today we have a very renowned motivational leader and a speaker joining us. And before I share his background, let me tell you something. I have read one of his books, which is called as Vijaniki Aidu Metlu in Telugu. And if you want to translate it to English, it stands for 5 Steps to Success. And that is the first ever book that I have read in my life. And it changed my perspective about life. In fact, I've become very productive and I became efficient in terms of managing time, and also I'm growing successfully in my career as well as life. And definitely that book has a lot of influence in my professional life as well as personal life. And let me tell you who we have in the TGV studio today. Sri Yandamuri Veerendranath Garu. And Yandamuri Veerendranath Garu is from East Godavari district of Andhra Pradesh, India. He is a practicing chartered accountant and worked for about 15 years in various financial institutions as a senior executive. He is an acclaimed novelist, playwright, and also State Sahitya Academy Award winner. This is one of several awards which he has won nationally as well as internationally. And also his works have been translated into Tamil, Kannada, Malayalam, English, and Hindi. As I mentioned earlier, he is a renowned motivational speaker and has delivered speeches at Australia, Tanzania, Indonesia, Singapore, US, and the United Kingdom. In fact, he's also a movie director and he's really, really passionate about motivating students and gave over 1,000 motivational speeches all over India and abroad. In today's episode, let us chat with Yandamuri Veerendranath Garu about nuances of personality development. This is the Guiding Voice podcast series, the Guiding Voice for a Better Future. Folks, I'm your host Naveen Samala, just a fellow IT professional on a mission to shape the careers and lives of millions across the globe. And through the Guiding Voice, we help successful leaders and motivational speakers and many more proven leaders across the various gamuts of life share their knowledge and wisdom with the world so that our audience will acquire more knowledge per every minute by tuning into the Guiding Voice than any other podcast in this space. Thank you so much for joining me today. And we are extremely pleased and humbled to have Yandamuri Veerendranath Garu part of the Guiding Voice journey in shaping the careers and lives of millions across the globe. Yandamuri Garu, I am super honored and humbled to have you as a guest on my show. In fact, it's a kind of dream come true for me.
Thank you. Nice words. For your nice words. Thank you very much.
All right, so let's get started, sir. Maybe
Good.
Can you briefly talk about your transition from a financial leader as a chartered accountant to a motivational speaker, movie director, and all? So, in this journey, what are top 3 things that have helped you successfully transition and be successful in your profession?
My father is a poet. My mother's father is also a poet. So I don't believe the genes theory. Maybe 60-40, something like that. But anyhow, I was inspired by them first. Second point is my father was working in income tax department. There was a small competition and I got first prize. That was my first story. So that inspired me. And basically, I'm short fellow. I'm 5 feet 4 inches only. So I had that inferiority complex with me. So my father suggested develop some activity where you can get some claps. And so when I have written first play, somebody came and shook hands with me. That inspired me. Basically, I don't know Telugu much because my second language it become is Hindi. And in CA, you don't have Telugu at all. So after 10th class, practically after 10th class, yeah. Because pre-university, I studied in a Muslim school. There is no Telugu there. So up to 10th class knowledge only. After that, I developed Telugu.
Wow. That's kind of inspiring because you didn't know Telugu and you didn't study until 10th standard, but you started learning it and have written so
once
many
my
novels.
story published, I started studying prabandhas, slokas, and poems also.
Mm-hmm.
All this I developed only after my first story is published, and then when I wanted to become a writer, I have gathered all this information.
That's so inspiring. And talking about your book, my favorite, Vijayanka Aidu Metlu, The Five Steps to Success, right? What motivated you to write that book, and what is your advice? How to follow those five steps?
There are two different questions. What motivated me to write Vijayana Kaidametri is a different question. I will tell you about that. When people were feeling heavy to read a fiction by spending 100 rupees, 200 rupees in those days, because by paying 100 rupees, you get 1 month, full month TV, all the channels. So they are shifting for TV. In those circumstances, I thought that it's enough for the fiction. It's end days for fiction. And then what the people wanted, what they cannot get in TV is personality development. You understand anything? So first small novel, Vijayam Vaipu Painam, The Journey Towards Success, is around 60 rupees book. We have released that. It was instant success. Then we made it big and made it 5 steps to success. You know the sales and turnover. That is the first question. Second question is, what is the meaning of 5 steps to success? When you go to a temple, the Archika puts the Shatakopam on your head. You must be aware of that. Shatakopam. Shat means 6, according to me. Gopyam means Rahasyas. When you go to a temple, on behalf of you, he is praying the God by putting the Shatakopam on your head to give you 6 assets and to relieve you from 6 devils. Yes, devils are Mada, Matsarya, Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Aham. There are 6 Mada, Matsarya, Kama, Lobha. And the 6 assets are health, fame, that is Kirti, Yashashu, love, universal love, then wealth, that is target. Wealth means not money, not only money, target. Enthusiasm towards life and wisdom. I combined this and made 5 steps to success. And finally, it is satisfaction without harming any others. Not unlike Osama bin Laden killing people and get satisfaction. That is not success because he was sleepless for at least 6 to 10 years in a place called Atifabad in Pakistan after the Twin Tower blast. That is not success. Success means without harming anybody, to be comfortable now and having the confidence that I will be comfortable like this tomorrow also is called success.
Wonderful. So you mentioned about success is all about helping people and living that contentful life and living up to the expectations, but
Being
rather
happy.
not, yeah, being happy and
Being
all.
happy.
So how can somebody achieve success in life, and what is your mantra for success?
I cannot tell about everybody. I can tell about me only. My first Aishwarya is health. I have constructed one Saraswati temple. You can see the background somewhere. I take a oath on Saraswati temple and tell you that I'm 75 years old, 74 years old, and I have never gone to a hospital till now. Never in my life I have gone to a hospital because of sleep habits, food habits, not taking anything to the brain or mind. Maybe 50% genes might have helped me, but 50% is self-made. This is health. How to get success? How to get health? Health is of 2 types: physical health and mental health. Mental health means tear, weeping for everything, and fear, fearing for everything, and then anger for small things, also getting prone to anger. These things, if you avoid, your health will be good. Next was my target. I had only one son. I got operated after one son because somebody said, how can you take a risk? I said, with 4 or 5 children also, there is a risk. I cannot earn more money. My salary was only 250 rupees. That is planning. You asked me how to get success. One is health, financial success, enthusiasm towards life. I told you, no? And wisdom. I developed wisdom. I was a very ordinary student. I read books and developed wisdom. And love, universal love, spending money for charities and all this. All these things made me happy always. I tell you one more thing also. I never come across a problem since past 25 years. No problem at all. This is all a process.
So this brings me to my next question. Actually, this is more related to depression. If we observe school students or intermediate students, if they're not getting good grades or if they're not getting desired rank as expected by their parents and all, they commit suicide and they get into this depression mode and they don't they avoid getting in
You are
contact
talking
with
about students or schools?
I'm talking about students.
Students, yeah,
Yeah.
students who are not getting ranks.
Yeah, students who are not
Ah,
getting ranks, and in general,
yeah.
so that might, students who are not getting ranks, they that might lead to their depression. And if we talk about adults, there could be n number of reasons out of this depression. But overall, how do we deal with, or how do we overcome the depression?
Depression for elders is different from depression for youngest.
Yeah,
There are two kids for a family. If you pamper one kid, there's a chance of other kid becoming and going into depression. Small reason is enough. The depression, there are four stages in children. There are four stages. First is, I am not okay, you are not okay. Something wrong with the world. The small kids, they weep for everything. That is first stage. I am not bothered. Second stage is more important. That is, I am not okay, you are okay. The entire world is okay. My father is happy drinking. My mother is happy watching TV. I am not happy studying. That is, I am not okay, entire world is okay. This is more important. Where they develop complexes. I am short, like me. I am dark, pimples, spets, teeth are not good, bald head. These are the depressions. You are asking what are the reasons for it. Here, the parents should come into picture. When I was short, my father advised me to write. Then I could come out of depression after become a celebrity. This is what parents should observe. Depression between couples is different. Communication gaps. Nowadays, the what do you say? Financial freedom for both. Nobody depends on nobody. So they want something different. Pop culture. For small things are ego clashes. This lead to depression, according to me. Particularly people who are more sensitive, sentimental, the depression factor is on the high side. But small things also they start sleepless nights. There is one thing called amygdala here. Amygdala. There is one thing called thalamus here. This ratio of thalamus and amygdala, the effect of ratio, that is emotion versus maturity. Emotion versus maturity. 60s to 40, 70s to 30, like that it goes. For those people who are more amygdala oriented, for every reason, they become angry, they weep, they depressed, they fear. These thalamus people are different. They don't feel anything. They don't enjoy life. They are simply a pseudo philosophy. So you should be balancing between these two to come out of your depression. Root cause for depression first. What is the root cause for your depression? You may be depressed now because 3 years back something might have happened to your child. So depression is not present cause. The cause can be any time.
I think it is okay, just that we have to balance between emotions versus maturity and try
Emotions
to.
and maturity. And next is we carry on suitcases.
Yeah.
Whenever you cannot express something to others, your
Yeah.
boss
Yeah.
or your wife or your husband or something like that,
Yeah.
you could keep that depression in your suitcase and open it over a couple of drinks or over a person who is underneath below you. If you come across him, you can open the suitcase and throw the anger on him.
Yeah.
This is mostly frustrated people who are not happy with their lives, people are addicted, people are not money. I mean, they do not have they have financial problems. Then the depression. There are so many reasons for sleeplessness also.
Yeah, excellent. Now, can you share some tips around dealing with failures, right? Because failures are part and parcel of our life, but few people take them so seriously and all.
Failures are different from problems, according to me. I expect a novel to be super hit. We throw it in the market, then the sales will not be good. My first movie, which I directed with megastar Chiranjeevi, was a plum in box office. These are all called failures. Problems are different. Are you talking about my failures or my problems or both?
I'm talking about failures.
Failure. My first failure was that film direction with Chiranjeevi that ran for I think 1 week or so. Because I came to know that I am fit for not I am not fit for direction. Director requires so much visual things. I'm a writer only. So I'm not fit, first point. Second is I'm not patient enough. Direction requires so much patience, talking to the artists, sketching with the art director, music director. I'm not, I said, okay, when the product is good, it goes. I was under the impression. Third point is either you should make 15 crores project or 1,50,000 project. These films go in between. You cannot help this way or this way. That is the third reason. I cannot make any RRR or I cannot, what are those films? I don't know. Some big films. I cannot make an art film. I made an art film with Chiranjeevi. That's why I failed.
All right, interesting aspect. And I want
But
to.
so many people will be watching this. With a failure, you have to decide two things: whether to continue in the same field or go for another field. So I continued with another field of writing. I stopped here, direction, first point. 2 or 3 films I have made. But second thing is, if you want to continue, you have to analyze what are the factors for your failure. What are your factors for failure? You have to always analyze whether you are strengthy enough to go for continuing the same field.
Excellent. So you need to make a decision whether to continue or choose another field and all. And most importantly, perform that root cause analysis in terms of understanding the factors why
One
that
of
failure has
the
happened.
best reason I can give you,
Mhm.
I have been making around 35 films. I know very many producers. You have 10 lakh, 10 crores. You spent 9 crores on the film. Suddenly you request 2 crores more. For that purpose, you have to spend this 1 crore, take 1 crore loan, and keep your house under mortgage. This is the decision making. If you lose, you go to footpath. But if you stop here, you lose 9 crores already. This is called decision making. It is very important.
Yeah, makes sense, sir. Thank you. And now let's talk about how to think about positive thoughts all the time. Because many a times, if we observe in our day, there are certain times or certain period of time wherein people are idle or alone, right? During that time, what should they focus or what should they be thinking?
Positive thinking.
Yeah. How
You
to
are
instill
talking
positive
about
thinking?
positive. Today afternoon, one lady called me on phone. Sir, suggest me. What is it? I am not happy with my wife. Sorry, my husband. I am not happy with my husband. What is positive thinking? There are two alternatives. Do you have kids? Yes, sir. If you part with your husband, who will feed them? Can you? First point. Are you financially worthy? Second point. What is the problem with your husband? What is the better thing, to stay with him or to go with him? Is he beating you? Is he trying to kill you? See the intricacies of staying with him. See the dangers of staying with him. Analyze what is better. Then take a decision. If you want to continue with him, take a positive outlook, be with him, and have your own separate private world. Music, paintings, so many private words, concepts are there. Go with him and find out what is the main reason for you and your husband quarreling. He is a drunkard. He plays cards. Consider all the things, but finally, which is better, staying with him or going away? Don't be in between. That leads to depression. This is called positive thinking. Always find out the root cause for your problem. You can come out 90%.
Now comes an interesting question. Like in this digital era, people are glued to the screens all the time. Like if you board a flight or if you take a train, nobody's talking to each other, right? And so much of time is getting wasted, okay, by being glued to the screen. Probably they are surfing through social media or whatever, right? So my question is more around how to manage the time wisely so that they can be productive and achieve success in life.
Both are different questions, sir. I'm sorry. Both are different questions. Going in a train, I don't talk to anybody. I don't consider that talking to strangers is a better quality. Somebody asked me when around 20 years back when Chiranjeevi he established the Prajarajyam party. I was going in a compartment, only 3 people were there. He asked me, Sir, Prajarajyam party, will it win next elections? I said, will you give me 100 rupees? I will tell you. He said, no, sir, 100. Okay, tell me 10, give me 10 rupees, I will tell you. Yeah, no, sir. Well, give me 1 rupee, I will tell you. No, sir. So my answer does not cost you even 1 rupee also. Why should I talk to you? I can read a book. I can go for Google search. So this first aspect, I don't feel that talking to people in the trains and planes, I don't do. Unless the other person is a celebrity and I can get some wisdom from him, it's okay. That's first point. Second point is what you are talking is the second point.
Time management. How
Time
to.
management is very crucial, sir. I never, if you remember 5 minutes ago, around 5 minutes to 6, I sent a message, sir, I will be there in your on screen at 6:55. That
Yes,
is
sir.
called respecting the time.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, many people don't respect time.
Yeah.
Time is of 4 types:
Yeah.
urgent and important. You have to go to hospital. You have to go to your marriage. That is urgent and important. Second is going to friend's marriage. If you want to go on time. If you don't go, also nothing happens. That is not important, but urgent. Third is very important. Not urgent, but important. Paying your current bills. Tomorrow is the last day for your income tax. These are all not urgent today, but by tomorrow evening, they all become urgent. This is very important. Fourth is not urgent, not important. That is charting, watching TV. That is okay. Third is very important. Whatever you have to do tomorrow, do it today. So that third block will be very empty. Because first block, unnecessarily, unexpectedly, so many things may come. I will give you a best example. Tomorrow evening is the last, 5 o'clock is the last time for your paying current bills. You pay it today because tomorrow morning, some very close relatives may have been joining the hospital. You may have to go there. Then by the time you come back, the current will be cut. So everything in the third block goes to the first block. Keep the third. This is called, entire thing is this one, time management.
Yeah. Excellent. Very beautifully explained. And this has been great conversation so far. And let's add some spice to the episode. I'm going to kick off a quick rapid fire questions. Maybe you can answer them very crisply. 1 word or 2 words.
I need not ask and answer crisply because you can edit it already. You can edit the gaps also. No, okay, anyhow, I'll try.
That is taken care, sir. I'm talking about the rapid fire. Just
okay,
five
go ahead. I'll try my best.
Yeah. What was your childhood fantasy?
Childhood fantasy was establishing a school.
Wonderful. And what is the best piece of advice that you have received so far?
I have never received any advice by anybody because people are here to give all advices only. I am the selector among the best. What is the best advice? I receive always from my father. Don't get disheartened. You can never become Aishwarya Rai, but you can always become Mother Teresa.
Excellent.
Because I was short, I was short. Yeah. He has suggested that being short, you cannot do anything, but being great, you can do it. Yeah. That is the best advice I do.
Makes absolute sense. Yeah. What is the biggest accomplishment in your life so far? You have so many successful books and many more things. Like you have been a great motivational speaker, and out of all these things, what is the biggest?
You ask a lady, what is your biggest accomplishment? Your first son or second daughter? What she will answer? You are married, I suppose. You have got kids also. What is biggest accomplishment? First kid or second kid? This is a very complicated question because I was a chartered accountant. The CA is a 4 years course. I completed in 3 years. That is the biggest accomplishment. Because passing in the first attempt itself is a difficult one, but I completed 1 year before. That is the first one. Second one is I got State Sahitya Academy award at the earliest stage of 32. I was the maximum salary drawing officer in the history of Andhra Pradesh. At the age of 32 itself, I become. If I go on telling this will become self-boasting.
Yeah.
So these are the accomplishments. And talking to you now is also an accomplishment.
Truly inspiring, sir. Truly inspiring. Yeah. And
because you have to think the answers, spontaneity is required. You have to, without thinking anything, I have to answer this correctly, without hurting, without going to legal notices. Everything is an accomplishment. For a lady, cooking biryani is an accomplishment. Biggest and smallest, we don't believe.
Okay. So celebrate every accomplishment, celebrate everything. That is your take. Wonderful.
That is called enthusiasm. I told you 6 Aishwaryas,
Yeah.
Aishwaryam. Yeah. Enthusiasm.
Yeah. Sure. Thank you. And here comes my next one. How do you deal with anger?
Oh, very good question. I did not become angry since past 25 years. Sir. My wife is there downstairs. She can ask. I never become angry because I have read one book, Stephen R. Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. He says that you have to avoid the suitcases first. Don't express your anger immediately. And then anger comes through various reasons. Emotional blackmails, relationship, greediness, problems, financial problems, health problems. I do not have anything. My son stays in Singapore. I hardly meet him once a year. But my driver's daughter and son are there who can just know his story. He's like my son. So don't weep for a Singapore son. Be enjoying with the driver's son here. He plays, she plays, sits on my lap. Everybody is my son and daughter. If you take consider like this, it's called Vishwaprema, universal love. Then there is no Bhavabandha, Tapatriya. Tapa means for desire. Traya means three desires. I should be happy. I should only be happy. Only my family should be happy. This is called Tapatriya. If you avoid this, there is no becoming old, there is no health problems.
Excellent. I'm loving this conversation. And last one for the rapid fire question. What is one electronic gadget or technology that you'd like to see or invent yourself?
I have written in Tulasidalam about RAM around 45 years back. RAM was just invented. I written in that Tulasidalam, the Mantrika, he does Chatabadi somewhere in Orissa. Here, one villain plays one Thayattu, that is hand Thayattu. There he puts electronic gadget, and from there he gives by remote sensing, he hypnotizes the girl and he drives her to death. This I have not invented, but I have invented when all these things have not come.
Yeah.
I have invented about plastic currency. I have written about plastic currency in Ananda Brahma 40 years back. And now, credit cards, debit cards, all this.
Yeah. Wow.
And T junctions in Hyderabad.
Yeah.
T junction, not forward junction, only T junctions. This I have written around 40 years back. These are all inventions as a writer.
Absolutely. That's so amazing. And final question for today's conversation. What is your one piece of advice to those aspiring to be successful in their careers or lives? You can pick either.
Whatever, whether a career or retired person or young boy or whatever, only one suggestion. Be happy. Find the ways how to be happy without harming others. Always keep smiling. Smiling means not standing in the bus stop and saying, not that one. Smiling means being pleasant. Be pleasant. Everything comes to you. Work. I don't say work hard. Work happily. Work happily. Earn money. After earning money, kick it. Be more charitable. You love people, not only your people, all people you love. Be conscious about your health, mental health and physical health. And then always enthusiastic. Tomorrow, a small flower may bloom in your garden. Entire night you think of that, how it comes out. Every small thing, when you comb your hair, concentrate on your hair. When you eat, concentrate. It's simple.
Excellent and simply mind-blowing conversation. And thank you so much, Yandamuri Garu, for joining us today. And it's one of the epic episodes in the history of the Guiding Voice. And I'm super humbled to have you. And thank you so much once again. So, folks, before we move into the trivia section, here is a small request to you. Please subscribe to us from the app where you have tuned in from. And also, if you have loved this conversation and enjoyed this episode, found it useful, please share with at least 3 of your friends or colleagues who can benefit from the Guiding Voice. Thank you so much in advance. Now, let's hop into the trivia segment of today's episode. So, today, Yandamuri Garu has mentioned briefly about Amygdala, and I'm going to talk more about Amygdala hijack. What is this Amygdala hijacking all about? An Amygdala hijack refers to when the amygdala in our brain takes over and we have an intense emotional response to a person or situation. And when this amygdala is hijacked, we are no longer able to make calm, rational decisions, as our brain cannot determine the difference between a real physical threat or the perceived threat, which triggers a series of emotions. And this term amygdala hijack was developed by psychologist Daniel Goleman in 1995 in his most famous book, Emotional Intelligence, Why It Can Matter More Than Intelligent Quotient. So that is all about amygdala hijack, and I strongly request you, don't let this amygdala hijack creep in you. So maintain calm, be happy, be cheerful, be enthusiastic all the time, as Yandamuri Garu has suggested. That's all for today. Thank you so much for joining me. So folks, before I let you go, please share your topic recommendations and also guest speaker suggestions through social media, or you can email me at theguidingvoiceforyou@gmail.com. I'm your host Naveen Samala, just a fellow IT professional and a passionate learner on a mission to make a difference in the careers and lives of millions across the globe. Until next time, bye-bye.